Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Boss Ron, and I don't know about you, but the start to this year has been a hell of a whirlwind. We've had games come out that have launched and died within the time span it takes for you to get an order off of TikTok Shop, or even call your parents back. We've got games that are going full release with a starting roster of characters you can count on two hands with a staff that is 10 times the size to support, then getting cut in half twice as fast when seemingly unable to meet expectations. That's right, we're talking about 2XKO and where the player base possibly sees themselves going from here. Now, as we've read with Riot, and I'll post a link to the article below if you guys haven't seen it, a reduction in staff does not necessarily mean the game is going to die. They've identified that there is a core, passionate fan base that will continue to play the game and even enjoy some of the newer releases that are coming out. I think as of the time we've recorded this video, they've announced that there are two brand new characters coming out, Akali and another character I can't quite remember the name of because I was scrolling past it on Twitter very quickly. New characters, balance changes, possibly even cosmetics and stuff like that don't necessarily spell doom for the game quite yet. The core fan base will still continue to play the game, and maybe new characters may or may not jump in. I'm still considering jumping in for the first time myself, having finally gotten access to it in the full release. This one's been really interesting to me because I've been on the outside wanting to actually get involved with Project L, as formerly known before, but never really took the plunge. For me personally, I didn't necessarily see a character that I could get behind. Also, though, I didn't really put myself in the driver's seat too much to really get into practice and learn a little bit of the nuances there. Now, for those of you viewing, I'm curious if I'm the only one on an island with this feeling, or if some of you all have kind of felt that way as well. It's a really interesting case with this fighter. I've talked about this with friends a long time ago too, of wanting League of Legends to maybe expand and do a fighting game, but I think just with the initial roster that was out there, some of the presentation behind it as well, something kept me from really wanting to dive in and potentially just kind of waiting to see how it maybe develops, what changes, or if it might just be time to jump back into like a Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, possibly even Mortal Kombat 1, although we know that that's more in the graveyard than this game potentially is going to be in the next couple of minutes. And that's kind of where I wanted this video to go, is looking ahead, where does the player base flock to now that 2XKO may seemingly be on a down note? Does it potentially revive itself where if more and more creators potentially come back in, maybe finding a character they can align to and hopefully bringing their community and their audience to the game, does that save it, or do we truly start to see a great migration to games like Deadlock, or even those folks who are waiting for the end of April when Invincible Versus come around? So there's at least a new tag fighter that is starting to itch that scratch. I'm sure there are others that are out there. That's the biggest one I'm looking forward to, is Invincible Versus. Even more later on down the line, when Marvel Tokon comes out in August, there's going to be at least two mainline or two hopefully staple fighting games to switch to, outside of course, your tried and true Tekken 8s and your Street Fighter 6s that are there. Whether it's too late or not, time will tell. I do still plan on jumping into 2XKO just to try the game out, get behind the scenes, and really kind of understand if maybe there was just a miss as far as like the marketing or the awareness was concerned, or if there's something deeply core rooted. Whether it's too late or not, time will tell. I do still plan on jumping into 2XKO just to get behind the scenes and really see if it maybe could have been a fighting game for myself. However, I'll tell you folks, on the other side of it, everyone and their mom is getting access to some of those Deadlock keys. We're all waiting on Marathon to potentially come out too, right? Everyone's looking for the next little multiplayer game. There's going to be a balance somewhere. We might end up making a little bit more Deadlock content as I try to figure out how mouse and keyboard effectively will work for me, because I've been a controller player for God knows how long. Rebounding off of 2XKO, trying to find something that scratches that itch of learning by losing and getting better each and every time as you kind of jump into a new round or a new match of it. There are three options I'm looking at particular here, starting of course with Deadlock. I think this is more and more growing like a tidal wave. This is effectively League of Legends, the shooter. I think those of you who really lean into fighting games and kind of like picking up a character, learning the nuances about what makes them tick and how to best play them, you'll find yourself right at home playing a game like this, especially if you do like a little bit of the shooting elements that you would find in like a Marvel Rivals or even like an Overwatch, especially now that that's starting to come back into the fold. The extra little kick of spice that you get here that changes it up from something like a Rivals or even an Overwatch is it pulls a very core component that you would find in a League of Legends Legends, which is the item system or the shop system, right? While you're learning this character and understanding their kit and how to at least just position yourself and play with what you have available, there is a whole ecosystem of items that you can build to really strengthen your character, make them more tankier, make them more stronger in the damage output that they put out, or just have some elements of lifesteal so you can stay alive for a little bit longer. And what Deadlock is seemingly doing here is not only taking that item system, but building it off of the community itself with their suggested builds and stuff that you can find. So you have a very guided path in terms of how you can learn the best way to play this character potentially, or play them to your liking. For anyone who is equal parts fighter as they are gooper, you do have Marathon coming out, which is Bungie, your Halo devs extraction shooter. I'm hoping what Bungie is able to do here is add a little bit more complexity to the extraction shooter. Of course, there are a lot of social elements. There's a lot of tensity around finding the items that are going to basically make you stronger and make you play better, and having to at least hold on to them before someone snipes you and loses them. There are now abilities that are getting added into the mix. So of course, for you fighting game fans who love the abilities that your character gets, you'll have the chance to pick up to, I believe it's 3 or 4 classes, and team up with folks to really make sure you're going in there and kind of just suffocating the rest of the lobby. Bonus points with these guys: at the end of February, they are doing a server slam, meaning it is free, open alpha, open beta, whatever you want to call it, before you buy the game. If you want to try this damn thing out, you got from the 26th of February all the way to, I believe, the 3rd or 4th of March before the release date itself. I think it's the 3rd. Give Marathon a shot. See if you like it, see if that's going to be the thing that at least holds you over until you get to your next fighting game, which right now segues into the 3rd option, and that's Invincible Versus. From my side, I have to do a lot of research into this game. However, I do love the Invincible series. I like 3v3 tag fighters. I miss Marvel vs. Capcom in its heyday. You also get to add some of the brutality that comes in from the comics, comes in from the TV shows, or even similar fighting games like Mortal Kombat itself here too. What the game launches with and how it balances between the nuances of catering to the competitive scene but also bringing casual players in that will eventually graduate, or hopefully will graduate, to the competitive scene, time will tell. Personally, I'm hoping for at least at the very minimum an arcade-like game mode where the most casual player can come on in, they can pick a team of 3 and really take them to the top of the ladder, stop the Viltrumites. The very more complex ask here would be maybe we do see a single player element that expands the game a little bit. I almost think of like a galactic conquest mode that you would find a Star Wars Battlefront doing, right? Very rooted in the story of Invincible in terms of, hey, Earth and the Galactic Federation, or whatever the hell they were called. I can't remember them right now. Fighting or stopping the Viltrumites from taking over planets, how that would impact the teams that you play against, right? The resources they pull in, I think could give you a very unique system, or a very unique, system to play through with friends online, or eventually even get yourself into feeling confident enough to go into playing an online mode, whether it's casual or whether it's ranked. So there's still a lot of hope for 2XKO. But at the same time, there's also a lot of other games out there for the first half of the year that I think everyone is at least going to be able to find a nice home within just what that game is going to be that helps distract you from that 9-to-5 grind you're just trying to get out of and disassociate from. But ladies and gentlemen, don't let me be the only one preaching here. Are there any other games that you all are leaning into or flocking to as far as the 2XKO situation is concerned, or are you Captain going downing with the ship on that one? Let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to picking up any of the other games that you guys suggest, but you're going to see probably these 3 here on the channel for the most part as we start to move in. Well, of course, once GTA 6 comes out, everything just pretty much dies as far as the world is concerned. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see us figure out what our Deadlock character is ultimately going to be. I know there's a lot that you get to choose from and pick from, and there's a whole hell of a lot of madness we got to figure out there. I'm looking forward to the experience. I will catch you all in the next stream, in the next video. My name is Boss Ron. Keep fighting, y'all.